Hi, this is Happy Bird from happybirdsglitternest.blogspot.com, and today we're going to turn this little Dollar Tree sleigh ornament into a nice little sleigh that you can give somebody as a gift with candy inside, or maybe a small bracelet or earrings, whatever you would decide that you would like to do. So stay tuned and I'll show you how to make this beautiful and very easy little sleigh. Okay, so most of you have seen these little sleigh ornaments at the Dollar Tree. They have them in red and also a galvanized metal color. So I picked up some of the red. They were out of the galvanized metal color. Originally my plan was going to be that I was going to spray paint the galvanized metal color a pink color, but I can work with this just as well. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is snip off this burlap string or twine, and then we're going to take this off. I never really cared for this on here, although it looks cute. It's awkward and very stiff, and so I'm just going to take it off. Now, there will be a couple of holes there when you do that, but don't worry about that. Alright, so you've seen before that I use the 4mm pearl strand from Walmart and how much I love it. But I picked this up, this roll here, in ivory from Hobby Lobby, and you get 24 feet. The original price is $2.99. This is standard stock. This is what they have in the sewing department, okay? But a couple of times during the month, they will have this on sale along with other spools of little trims and laces and whatnot for half off. So they happen to have those rolls for half off this week, and so I bought this for $1.50. 24 feet for $1.50. Now I always look at the pearls, and I love the pearls that have a shine to them, because to me they look more realistic when they have a shine. I've seen some pearls that were just very dull and no shine to them whatsoever, and I think they look awful on projects. So if you're going to get any kind of pearl trim, make sure that it has a nice shine to it like this, okay? And I opened this up. I used quite a bit of it already, but you can see that it does have a shine. And this is 4mm, okay? Now you're going to need to cut 40 of these pearls. Count out 40 in the strand, and then cut it. And then you're going to need 38 pearls, okay? 40 for the top, 38 for the bottom. So I already did that. Let me see which is which. And we're going to do the top part first, okay? You're going to need Fabri-Tac, Beacon Fabri-Tac for this project. And you can find Fabri-Tac at any craft store, Walmart, Amazon. It's all around. We're going to start by putting the Fabri-Tac right here in the corner of the sleigh. And you're going to lay your pearl just like this, okay? Now, I'm only going to do a little bit at a time. And you want to make sure that you only use a very small amount, okay? Now this is clear, and it dries clear, but you still want to use just a small amount, and keep your nozzle clean, okay? That's really important, so you won't be spreading large amounts of glue all the way down here. Okay, Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this just a few minutes to set up, okay? So this will be on there and it won't slide around, all right? And then we'll come back in and we'll continue gluing all the way around. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so this didn't take long at all, just a couple of minutes. And I'm going to continue to keep this nozzle clean. Just going to put a little bit all the way around. Like this. Okay. Nice and even. Oop. Clean it off. It looks like a little bubble in there. That's alright. Just gonna move on around and tap it, just like that. Alright, and this is gonna look really cute when it's finished. So I think the top here, I'm going to go all the way around here. And then we're going to set that on top of that. Like so. Make sure it's continuing to be nice and even. Okay, kind of move this towards the front. I think it's better when you move it towards the front than towards the back. And just continue to go all the way around to the top. Just like that. Make sure that it's even. You don't want a lot of the red metal showing at the top. That's why we're pushing it up to the edge. Like this with our finger. Just like this. Okay, so now kind of give it a look all the way around. And I think that turned out pretty nice. You have a few minutes to kind of play with this still. And then it will get to a point where it'll be rock hard and you won't be able to move it at all. So I'm just kind of smoothing it out. So I'm going to be smart and let this completely dry to where this can't be moved at all. And then I'm going to come in and we're going to do the bottom part of the sleigh. Okay? So I'm going to be patient and wait on that, and then we'll be back. Okay, so now that we know our top pearls are not going to budge, we'll go ahead and put the 38 strand of pearls at the bottom. And we're going to start here. So we're going to take our Fabri-Tac, move it around here, and we're going to take our pearl strand and lay it just like this. Now you want to kind of put the bottom here kind of underneath the top pearl like that, so it'll look like a continuous strand. Alright, And I am going to allow this to dry for a few minutes, just to where it's not going to slide around a lot when I continue with this strand. Okay, so now we're going to continue gluing the pearls with our clean nozzle here, all the way around. Like this. Just a small amount. Make sure that's nice and even. I'm going to give it just a minute or so to kind of set. Not completely, but enough to where it'll hold the pearls. And then you can continue on around. I'm going to move the pearls up a little bit. And with your clean nozzle, you're going to continue to go all the way around up to here, okay? And then right up to that point. Make sure it's kind of under that top one here to make it look like it's a continuous strand. I'm just going to give it a minute or so just to make sure that it's not going to fall like this one is doing right here. So push this downwards. Okay. And like I said, you do have a small window of time to kind of play with this to get it exactly like you want it. Okay. Just like that. Okay. So now we're going to allow this to dry until it's on there rock hard like the top one is, okay? And then we'll be back. Okay, so now everything is nice and dry on this, so I think it turned out really nice. Now on the side where there are two little holes here, we're going to cover these holes up. Now there are so many options that you can use. You can take a piece of bling and glue it on here with your Fabri-Tac. That would be pretty. Or you can do something like take this. This is very flexible. I don't like anything that's stiff. I like things that are flexible. And you can purchase a beautiful gold or silver flexible stem like this at Hobby Lobby. And this is just a little tiny piece cut off it, but they're huge. And they usually charge about $9 a piece for them. Wait until they're half off, because they usually have them a couple of times a month for half off. And I mean, they're really huge. They're, you know, like that. And you can take your time and cut little pieces off, use them little by little. And even though $4 might seem like a lot, you get a lot of this stuff here to work with, okay? Or you can just get the smaller picks, whatever you decide, if you just want to make one or two of these. Now, I had some of these little teardrops left over from when I showed you how to make the little Victorian teardrop ornaments. And I also have a lot of these. I didn't pick up a lot of the Christmas embellishments at Hobby Lobby, and I should do that because they're 50% off right now. This probably would have helped. But you might ask me, where I got my embellishments, but to tell you the truth, I get them different places. Like these little roses here, I paid half this price at Hobby Lobby, and these I think I picked up on, yeah, I picked up these on Amazon. You can get bits and pieces like this. This was a necklace that was on sale at Walmart. It was on clearance a few years back, and I just cut off all the little pieces. I look around in the real pretty buttons on eBay sometimes, and if I find something that I like, I'll order it. Sometimes I go to Hobby Lobby and look in the Sewology buttons that they have hanging on the rack when they're on sale for 50% off. So, I mean, I get them all different places. And so with this, I thought it might be kind of nice to begin by gluing this like that right over the little holes. So I'm going to be using my Fabri-Tac. And right here, I'm just going to put some Fabri-Tac. And I'm just going to lay this like that. Make sure it grabs, because I want that on there. And then once that dries, I thought it might be kind of nice to put a little rose on there. The only red roses that I had were teeny weeny ones. So I thought, well, the cream colored will look real pretty on here. And although this is not a traditional green, I think this would go well, this mint green. So I think I might even use that. So let me try that and then see what happens, okay? Make sure this is on here. Probably put the flower about here to cover up this stem. This just takes a minute or so to stick. Now you can make this dry times 10 if you want to put it in front of a tabletop fan. Okay? And it's kind of hard though sometimes during the winter when it's so cold to turn the fan on. But you know what I used to do when I would use triple thick and things like that that needed a lot of drying time on my ornaments is I would put the fan in a different room that I don't go into, and then I just let it dry that way. That way it only was cold in one room and it wasn't the room that I was in. Alright, so I'm going to put that there. I might add a little more glitter to this. Might even add a little tiny rhinestone in the middle here. Sometimes it's just the little touches, you know, that really make it. Alright, so I'm going to let this glue dry so I won't knock anything off there. And then we'll be back and we'll continue with this, okay? Okay, I'm going to be using some of the opal glitter medium that I showed you in previous videos. I don't have any actual bottles of ultra fine glitter glue. This will work really well. I just want to put a little bit more on the edges. I think this would really look nice doing that. It'll give it the appearance of frost. I love this stuff, and I don't know how long it'll take me to go through this jar, but I know that I've used this a lot and it has barely made a dent. Just here and there and everywhere, little at a time. And as you can see, it's already making quite a difference. Okay? Isn't that pretty? When it dries, you'll really be able to see it. Okay, so this will take a little while to dry, the open glitter medium well, but we'll be back. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is, you see this little loop thing at the back? Alright, well, we're going to take our flat nose pliers and bend it back just a little bit like that. Alright, and you can hang any charm you want from there. You can buy them pre-made at craft stores, or you can make your own like I did. This is just a little teardrop crystal, and I'm using a 9mm jump ring, so it will dangle. If all you have is an 8mm, you can use that too. And I think even a 7mm would work. But I'm just going to hook that on here. And just make sure it's on. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is I've been trying to decide which of these gemstones to use here. I thought about a red one. I want it to look like a leaf coming from the flower. I thought the red one might look nice, but then I thought, well, we have so much red here. Maybe I ought to use some sort of a contrasting color. Maybe the dark green. And we do have a lighter green color too. That's not as traditional. I don't know if you can see it. And I also have a clear one I could use that would match this on the back. I don't know. What do you think? I'm kind of leaning between the dark green and the white crystal. So let's try this. I'm going to hold that up there with this, or with this. I don't know. Ooh, that's going to be a tough. You know, I had an idea. Do you think it would be too much if I put a second leaf there? Like that? What do you think? Too much? I don't know. I might give that a try though. Okay. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Alright. So I'm going to slide this right in at the top. I'm going to make this look like a leaf too. And then I'll let it dry. I'll set this up on something like this. Make sure it dries. Maybe I'll just use a gemstone box here. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, I'm going to let it dry and then we'll be back. Okay, so I could have sworn that I bought some flannel, white flannel at Hobby Lobby in the fabric section a few weeks ago, but I can't find it anywhere. So I'm using the second best thing, which is just plain white cotton print. And if you look up closely, you can see that it has little white polka dots on it, so I'm hoping this will work just as well. If I had my choice, I would be using just plain white flannel, okay? Don't buy felt, don't buy fleece. It's flannel that I wanted to work with. Okay, so you can use either the Fabri-Tac for this, or you can use the E6000 Fabri-Fuse, which I also really like. And I think I'm going to use this Fabri-Fuse today because it's not quite as thick as Fabri-Tac, so I want it to kind of spread a little more. But before we do that, you're going to need to take your paper cutter and cut a 3x4 piece of cardstock. Okay, this is the heavyweight cardstock, 110 pound. And I'm going to take some tape, stick it on the back of this, and just place it right here. And I'm going to take my scissors and just use this as a pattern to kind of cut around like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, just do your best. That's one thing I like about these little Santa sack things, is that you don't really need to be perfect with these. And they still come out really cute. Kind of trim things up as you go. And it's no sew, of course. Alright, so that's it. And peel this off. Now it already looks like, okay, so you're going to take the right side of the fabric and you're going to glue the right side of the fabric on the inside. You want the wrong side of the fabric on the outside, okay, because we're going to, once we glue this down and it dries, we're going to turn it inside out. So I put it down together as evenly as I possibly could. Okay. So I'm just going to lift up the corner here, and I'm just going to put a row of the Fabri-Fuse right here. And with the Fabri-Fuse, there's absolutely no odor whatsoever. I'm going to lightly tap it. I'm not going to squish it extra hard, just going to lightly tap it. And I'm going to make sure I get the corners and everything, because when you turn it inside out, you don't want any corners popping open. Make sure you get glue on every little square inch there is, because like I said, you don't want it to pop open. And then we're going to do this side, and of course we're going to leave the top completely open. Okay. Alright, now you're supposed to allow this to dry for 8 hours before you attempt to turn it inside out. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to leave this for 8 full hours, and then we'll come back later on this evening and we'll turn it inside out. Okay, so we have our little bag and it's completely dried. So I'm going to be turning this inside out. And instead of shoving it through, I'm just going to gently pull it through like this. And I'll put my finger in there, of course, to help kind of coax it, but mainly you want to very gently and slowly pull it out. Just take your time with this. And boy, does this E6000 Fabri-Fuse really hold. I'm so pleased with it. I think truly that is the best as far as holding fabric. Okay, so I'm going to take a pencil eraser and kind of gently poke this out a little more. Not too hard, you don't want to rip a hole in the corner. Okay, so it looks like this, and that's exactly what we wanted. So I'm going to take some pinking shears and just along the top I'm going to cut evenly like this. Just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, just gives it a little design there. Now normally I probably would put something like the Hershey chocolate peppermint kisses in here, or the almond kisses, but all I had were these Christmas nougats, so that's what I'm going to put in here tonight. But you can put a lot more, of course, if they're kisses or whatnot. And you want to leave a little bit of room at the top. Now, I'll show you what I do. I like using these clear rubber bands. This I got at the Dollar Tree. There's 500 of them. You get them in the hair care section. They also have these at the 99-cent store, but they don't always have the clear. Sometimes it's like rainbow colors or whatnot. And just give this a couple of winds, and then open the top like a flower. It's nice and pretty. So now I'm going to be using this 1/4 inch wide narrow ribbon. So I'll probably cut, about 16 inches of it. You know me, I like having more rather than less when it comes to tying the bows. Alright, now I'm going to turn this upside down. Now you all know I'm not terrific with bows, but just doing an overhand bow like that. And then I'm going to cut like this. Oops, I meant to cut that at an angle. Okay. Alrighty, so we have what looks like this. Alright. So now we just set the little bag right in here, like that. I thought this looked pretty cute. And I'll show you the original. Okay, hold on. Okay, so this is our before, and this is our after. So I think it turned out pretty nice. The only thing different that I did is I did take some Fabri-Tac glue and put it behind this leaf and down a little further, because I felt like it needed to lay flat against here and it was kind of going forward. So that really helped a lot. Now I hope you use this as a springboard for your own ideas. There's so many different ways you can decorate these little sleighs, and you can put different things in here other than just candy. You can put jewelry or anything you'd like. And so I hope you enjoyed this project, and I look forward to making over more dollar store ornaments. I think this one was a lot of fun. So with that said, take care, and thank you so much for watching, and God bless each and every one of you. Bye-bye.